Welcome to the Fluster API AWS office hours, Monday, May 1st, 2023. Yeah, we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which nicely stated, please be excellent to one another. Let's go to the first item on the agenda. There's a PR, Cameron, you want us to look at? So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have to look at it in this meeting, but basically the pull request is around bug fixes with the launch templates and diff detection. There's a lot of bugs right now with machine pools and launch templates and unnecessary version churn. And there's a few edge cases that you can currently get into to cause infinite version churn, which is really bad. So this tries to address it and also adds a bunch of logging, which is necessary in order to find exactly where it's going wrong. If there's more bugs in this code area, which I suspect there's even more than I fixed. So the logging should make it easier for people to track down where in the code things have gone wrong.
Okay. Um, do you is there any, I guess, documentation or sorry, let me rephrase my question. So for anybody on this meeting, or anyone that let's say we'll read the change log or release notes. Um, how can we make it clear that or how can we advertise, I guess, these changes? Where should machine pool users look for this? For the additional, I guess.
That's a great point. Because I don't think there's anywhere for them really. There's the documentation in the Kappa book around machine pools is a little light because it's
Mhm.
still an experimental feature. Um, so possibly we should expand that in order to explain how to debug this sort of thing in the first place. Because I don't think there's any troubleshooting section at all.
Okay. But your change specifically, are you adding additional log messages?
Yes, there's new log messages in addition to some of the bug fixes.
Okay.
Basically, there's a log message at every point in which we try to detect if there's a diff or not in between the ASG launch template and our desired state. And so at every point now there's a log message if there's a diff detection, so you could track down to exactly what kind of diff was being detected.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a closer look at the PR. I think one question I'll try to. I mean, if you can answer it here, are the log messages? Do they have a common prefix?
Yes,
They do.
and so the most of them are in the scope of like the machine controller
Uh-huh.
or the machine pool controller. Um, and so they are prefixed with that information. And I believe the other place where I made changes, I tried to enhance the logger so that we were adding the fields, like the launch template fields to the logger, so that way you had that information.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Because I think what would be like, yeah, you're adding these messages now. We want to let anyone that is using machine pools just know that they're available. Um,
Right.
know where to look if they're having issues with um, launch templates. So that I don't know if that requires anything in the book necessarily, but it could be uh, yeah, I guess maybe there's more information that fits in a release note. But then I don't know. Maybe it's possible to have a longer release note. I see you've got a draft there, so maybe we can maybe we just make it a little bit longer. I'll
Yeah,
leave a comment on the PR. But yeah, this is great. I'll try to look. I should be looking later today. Um, yeah. Is there is that are anything else on
yeah,
that
that
for you?
that fully covers it for me.
Okay.
That's that's it.
Any any other issues today? Yes, Rudy, go ahead.
So, yeah, I actually wanted to check up on the status for version 2.1 because 2.1 introduces a fix that allows us to add annotations to manage machine pools so that, CAPI doesn't conflict with the cluster autoscaler. But yeah, I think since Richard and Gurgly aren't here, it probably makes more sense for me to probably drop a message on that thread. I know there was KubeCon, right? So everybody was just uh laid up with that.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
If you want to leave a link to the Slack thread in the
Yep, just
doc,
one. Yeah, will do.
that's fine for anybody that's it's coming to the doc and
Mhm.
maybe has
Ma-
missed the thread. Um, that might be helpful.
Roger that.
Yeah. Any other items? Yeah, and like Rudy said, uh, Rich Case and Ankita Swami and Gurley Bradigan, they're out today. Um, so I think we could probably wrap it up. If so sometimes we do a bug triage for a little bit afterward, or issue triage for a little bit afterward. Um, I can stick around and do that for a little bit, but yeah, that's not. No one is obligated to do that. So I'll yeah, we usually stop the recording. All right. So last call for any discussion.
I don't have anything else.
All right. So I'll wrap it up. I'll stop the recording.